Good morning, good morning. It is Friday, November 30th, 2018. You're listening to RadioFreeRadford.com. While you're at it, be sure to follow us on Facebook at Radio Free Radford and on Instagram, and search us up on Twitter at Radio Free Raddy. And you can also get the latest weather information on RU Weather One. This morning, you stepped about on campus. If you've been up early enough, we did see some rain pretty much later last night, and pretty much it's been across with us this morning up to a 58-degree high temperature. So wrapping up November, believe that or not, with an overnight low of 46. So we'll see the winds relaxing finally after a wild stretch of those wind chills staying in the single digits and teens earlier this week. And we're going to be seeing a lot of the rain pretty much dominate over the weekend, seeing temperatures getting to near 70 by Sunday. So we're starting December off on a warm note, ending November on a below average note. So I don't know where we're at anyway. But alrighty, this morning I have the pleasure of introducing two guests who are very familiar voices here on Radio Free Radford. You can catch them every Monday between 12 to 1 with Hot Takes with Holmes. Joining me is Blake Holmes and Isaiah Addair. Good morning to both of you all.
Good morning. We appreciate having you. We appreciate you having us on. And again, I always love to come on here on Radio Free Radford. And yes, we do run a show called Hot Takes with Holmes. Basically, it's just a sports radio show. We give our opinions, if you care about that, about various different professional sports topics.
Yeah, I'm Isaiah. Which you guys know.
Okay.
But yeah. Me and Blake started this last year after we spent a lot of time in high school together. Writing journal articles for our school newspaper about various things, but mostly sports. We would collaborate a lot on.
Mm-hmm.
And we decided to carry it to college. I wasn't here in my freshman year, but here now. And last year we started the show, and we've just been going since then. It's been nice.
Awesome.
It's been really nice being on Radio Free Radford.
Awesome. And I've listened to your show a couple of times. I've enjoyed listening to it. When obviously some of my classes kind of run during your time period, but whenever there's not, I try to listen into it as well. Alrighty, so first of all, let's kind of say a little bit of background. Where are you from? Your major and your graduation. We'll start with you.
All right, my name's Isaiah Addair. Again, I'm from Bluefield, West Virginia. I moved to Virginia about 7 years ago, which is where I met Blake at Rural Retreat, Virginia. My major, I'm doubling with criminal justice and sociology. I'm trying to get a well-rounded education, and I'm supposed to graduate December of 2019 as of right now.
And my name is Blake Holmes. As Isaiah alluded to, I'm from Rural Retreat, Virginia. Lived there my entire life up until coming here to Radford University 3 years ago now. I am a senior. I'll be graduating this spring in May, and my major is media studies with a concentration in production technology. So I'm trying to go into broadcast. I told them what I want to do, and being able to do something like this on the side is something that really what I was looking forward to when I came into college. Alrighty.
Well, we pretty much said the name of your show. Now, how did you come up with the name of the show? Did just because it was your last name, you want to do something different, or what was all that about?
I gotta say, credit isn't necessarily just to me.
Okay.
A good buddy of mine from Rural Retreat, I was talking to him, and we were discussing several different names, and the Holmes part did definitely help. But at the time, we were just thinking, controversial or very big topics at the time. So Hot Takes, things like that. A lot of different names came out, but that was the name I liked the most. That was the name I thought had the best ring. And so Hot Takes with Holmes. Once my friend threw that out at me, I didn't see another option for that to be the name.
Alrighty. And how did you kind of get inspired? Well, you said you kind of knew him already to come on and help him co-host with this.
Oh yeah, because me and Blake, we've been close friends since I hit him in the ribs with a football in 8th grade. Left an imprint on his stomach for a little while. So we've been friends since then. And since we were already familiar with each other, knew each other, had a really good sports background, knew what we were talking about. And it helps that we're in school mostly during football season. That's what I like to talk about the most, and it's where our relationship, started with football, obviously, and it's we have experience working with each other in a journalistic type environment. So that really helps. So he just asked me, he just popped the question, and I was like, yeah, sure.
And so essentially, it was basically we did whenever we hang out, we do exactly what we do on the show all the time, just off the air. And so I felt the best way, especially with Isaiah being here on campus, being close, the best way for us to share that is to be able to come on here, Radio Free Radford, and do the exact same on the air.
Awesome story. So, and how did you decide to hear? Well, first of all, how did you hear about Radio Free Radford, and why did you decide to do Radio Free Radford?
So I heard from Radio Free Radford from the friendly GM. You should probably talk to him sometime. Tristan Blake Ryan's here at Radio Free Radford. He actually did an in-class visit my sophomore year in my comms 247 class. He basically just came in and said, hey, this is Radio Free Radford. At the time, it wasn't necessarily anything like huge, but it was still a growing club here on campus. And really, I knew that radio was ultimately one thing that I wanted to go into, and to be able to go in and get some experience on the side. And I talked with Tristan on the side. He's very good. He's a very cool guy. Strongly suggest if you are interested in talking to Tristan. But Tristan was really the reason that I got into Radio Free Radford. And then Isaiah, of course, as I mentioned it to him later on.
Alrighty, cool deal. Now, obviously, you're a senior, so you'll be leaving this. So, are you going to continue to do this next year? And if so, do you want to have like a co-host like you're continuing doing now, or solo, or?
Yeah, that's a little different of a story, because it's gonna be weird not having Blake, because I've only everything I've done that has to do with journalism in any way has involved Blake. But like I was telling you before the show, I have a friend, Raymond Radford.
Yeah.
He is in journalism. He was thinking about starting up a show. So we've kind of bounced the idea back and forth of me being his co-host for my last semester here next fall. He wants a show, doesn't know exactly what, and it's going to be a Hot Takes show. So carrying the same theme. So it'd be kind of like, from my standpoint, a passing of the torch from Blake to him, which would be interesting. I would love to see that myself personally, but yeah, I would totally be interested in joining him in that. Or if one of the youngsters comes in and they're like, hey, you're the guy that's staying back from that group and we liked your show, would you be interested? I wouldn't mind that at all. I would actually enjoy it.
Alrighty, and how can they reach out to you all if they're interested in joining or continuing to, I guess, maybe be make an appearance on the show or something like that?
Of course, the easiest way to reach us, both of us at the same time, would be to follow and like our Facebook page, Hot Takes With Holmes on Facebook. You can send us a message there. We check that pretty regularly. Email us. My email is bholmes9@radford.edu. You can go ahead and say what yours is there.
Mine's Addair, ADDAIR, @radford.edu.
And of course, I'll even throw out my personal social medias if you wanted to contact me on there. Both of them on Facebook. I'm just Blake Holmes on Facebook, and then Twitter is @NuggetsNation21, NUGGETS Nation21. I know I'm a Denver Nuggets fan. Don't give me too much flack for it. But yeah, if you ever want to make an appearance on the show, of course we will be running this show through next semester, of course, until I graduate. So at any point you want to make an appearance, just shoot me a message and we'll get it worked out.
Awesome. And then, so we'll start with you, Blake. You're graduating. You've already seen here. You've been a lot. What would be some advice you would give to some freshmen out there?
So, ultimately, what the main piece of advice is I would give is to, and you hear it all the time from the entry level stuff, but it's to get involved with your clubs, with your academics, everything here on campus. Take advantage of and get involved while you can. First year I was here, I didn't really do much. Of course, as Isaiah mentioned, I didn't start this show until last year, and Isaiah came on with me. My first year here, I wasn't with Radio Free Radford. I really wasn't with anything. And then this past year, I joined Radio Free Radford. I joined a couple of other things, and really I saw how much my college experience began to flourish and feel a lot better. So to get involved with your clubs, community, things like that here on campus, that's the best piece of advice that I've ever been given that I could give to anybody else.
I see.
I would say for me, my success through college has been hinged on probably like 4 basic principles, and that'd be like, first, just don't forget where you come from. Remember that even when you go back home, you're not better than anybody else. Like you still started there. Second, I would say to find your passion, because college is the time for it. You actually have time to spend. When you get into the workplace, you're not going to be able to do that. So find your passion and like strive to achieve the goals that have to do with that passion. And the third one, and I'll kind of incorporate this as well, is exactly like Blake was saying, just get involved. Since I came here, the very first day I was here, I joined ministry that I'm a leader in now. It's called Chi Alpha. It sounds like a frat, but it's actually a Christian ministry. And, that's where most of my time goes. And then Radio Free Radford, getting involved with this. And I'm technically an ambassador for my college now, but I've not really done anything with them, so don't know where that's at right now. It's kind of cloudy, but yeah, and just with that, just take time for yourself. Don't be all about your studies. You got to focus on them, but you'll be overwhelmed and you'll have a mental breakdown if you don't get involved with other things like Blake was saying, and just try to decompress and have some fun.
Awesome. Some good things. So, freshmen, if you're listening this morning, these guys are telling you what to do. And like you said, get involved in a fraternity maybe, and that will be excellent to sure. All right, so we'll throw a little collaboration together with you. It's all right with you all? Mm-hmm. All right, so what I normally do is find a little bit of statistical data, weather and stuff like that. So, actually, first, are you all a fan of the cold? I like it, but too cold to a certain point.
Exactly. So I'm one of those that I would rather be cold than I would rather be hot, but at the same time, when it gets too cold, I start to have a little bit of a problem with it.
Right.
Yeah, I'd actually rather be hot, so that's where we differ.
Okay. All right. Well, believe it or not, it was so cold Wednesday, we had those 30s and that snow out there. We actually broke a record high, about 25 degrees, believe it or not. The old record was 34 back in 1956. And then we kind of tied a record low of 16, believe it or not. That's how cold it got down there for sure. And, along with that, they're hinting, I'm looking at computer models projecting maybe a bigger system coming in next weekend, give us a little bit more snow and some cold to come along with that. So, but that's just a tease. We'll see if that's actually will happen or not. And also another thing I noticed here as a freshman, I've gained a lot of knowledge. I've started to see all the activities and variety of things. There's so much you can do here at not only the student media but the fraternities and whatever organizations you're. The one thing that stands out to me is the R space. Have you ever seen the movies that they put on out there?
I've seen ads for them, definitely. I have been to a couple. I haven't necessarily been to all of them by any means. But our space, it really is it's a great club here on campus that not only do they put on the movies, they also put on the spring concerts that we see every once in a while as well. So you've heard in the past the big names like your Little Uzi Verts, your Mac Millers back in the day. Those were all put on by our space. Mm-hmm. So our space really is a good club, and they always seem to have a pretty decent movie that's going to be putting on wherever it is they have them as well.
Yep. And have you seen any of those or planning on seeing any of them?
I actually haven't, because the ones that have been interesting enough for me to want to watch them, because I'm not a huge TV person personally. If I watch TV, it's either like an action or a chick flick, or sports. That's usually what it is. So I'm like when the Black Panther come, or there's been different shows I've been interested in. I'm like, okay, I want to watch that. But then at that point, I've usually watched it. Because, if I want to watch it, I really want to watch it. So I've already watched it at that point. But our space does, it's really good for especially freshmen to get involved with, because they do a little bit of everything. They make sure you're busy and involved. And it's good, clean fun, not getting into any trouble, because they can't really. It's on campus most of the time. So I would encourage it. But yeah, for sure.
Alrighty. Yeah, I think I've seen like one of them out of all of them, because I'm not much of a person either myself, but they're always interesting to see. I always fluctuate with your time and schedule. And another thing I kind of do on here, I kind of give inspirational quotes in the morning, because people are kind of maybe waking up, they need to hear something inspiring. So this morning's quote is by Anne Reid, quoting that the question isn't who's going to let me, it's who's going to stop me. Anything thought you want to give on that maybe, or?
Really, that quote speaks to me because whenever I was first leaving high school, I really thought about, honestly, when I came here, I was a pre-major, and I thought about potentially majoring in chemistry. And I took the first chemistry class. Really wasn't my thing. I ended up dropping out of that class. Instead, I decided to chase a dream, chase a passion in media studies. So the idea is, if someone tries to tell me, maybe you won't make so much money, maybe you don't, the job opportunities isn't that great, but at the same time, they're not really going to stop me, because I'm still chasing a passion. I'm chasing a dream. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. So in a way, I almost live by that quote, in my opinion.
Okay.
Doesn't that somewhat go with your senior quote as well from high school?
The senior quote is from a rap song. It's actually, because the same people asking why you're doing it will ask you how you did it. And so, very similar quote, yes.
Interesting, for sure. Does it speak out to you, maybe, I guess? Or?
Yeah, for sure, because, like I said, I'm a criminal justice sociology major. I plan on going to law school. Okay. I'm hopefully at either UVA or Wake Forest, so not too far from here. But my goal is to work in social justice, like civil rights, and with veterans and with child care, like advocacy. So stuff like that's what I'm really passionate about, especially like civil rights and like racial discrimination. So working in that field, I've already noticed just from dabbling in it, during my time in high school, that, people aren't going to, if you're challenging the system, my desires would be, I'd be challenging the system. When you do that, no matter what the system is, they're not going to let you do it. They're not going to let you do it. There's going to be some opposition. So definitely, it speaks to me because, in my opinion, the things that are worth fighting for are the ones that you actually do have to fight for. Like Blake was saying, to achieve your dreams and achieve what your purpose is on this earth, it's an uphill battle. And it's not going to just be given to you. You're not going to be just allowed to do it. So, yeah, I actually like that quote.
Awesome. Cool deal. Cool opinions with that. And also, I don't care what day it is. There's a day for everything. Sleeping day, cookie day, whatever day it is. There's probably a national day for the day. I don't know. But so today is actually a couple of them. It's National Computer Security Day, National Mason Jar Day, which y'all know, like the little jars you put your preserves and stuff in. And also another one is, if I could find it, give me a second, folks, is Stay Home Because You're Well Day. Well, we're here at school. We want you to go to school. But maybe come out maybe and say, it's Friday. I want to have a good day. You're doing well. You don't want to, a lot of people are getting sick about this time of the year because of the weather is up and down. But maybe if you're out there and you want to take a day off, I'm not saying that, but don't listen to me this month. But anyway, you can do that for sure. And and also this month, it's been several things going on. It's National Banana Pudding Month. Y'all like banana pudding?
I do, especially during the holidays, I do.
Yeah. And well, that kind of results into our next thing. We done had Thanksgiving. Now we're ready for Christmas. Are you all ready for Christmas?
I'm one of those that I'm ready for Christmas, but I'm not ready for Christmas music. That's the way I feel about it. Is Christmas music, I'm not really a big fan, but Christmas, it's my favorite holiday of the year.
Okay.
Not even close, really. Second favorite is Halloween, but again, not even really close. And no, Christmas, I'm definitely ready for Christmas this year. I'm actually making a big trip to Colorado in the middle of December, so I'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm so excited. My break's going to be full of studying because, like I said, going to law school, I got to take LSAT soon. So, it's going to be full of studying, but I'm so excited. Done my shopping. My favorite rap group just released a Christmas album, so it's weird rap and Christmas music. But I'm not a big fan of Christmas music either, but the album is really good. I'm so excited. And time away from class. That's good, too.
Yep, and of course, along with that, everybody says, so what are you going to be doing? Sleeping most of the time. I think that's a lot of the answers that most of the students give. But, of course, you're going to be busy. It seems like you're going to be at a nice place, it sounds like to be. So I hope you all enjoy that, too. It's just 2 weeks away, and for sure. And best of luck to exams. Any advice you would say to give the exams? I know they start, was it late next week, I think it is?
So as far as exams go, a lot of people you see on social media, a lot of people are making jokes about how they're living in the library. And that's good. If you feel the need to cram, absolutely do that. Be ready for your exams. But for the most part, as long as you are, just don't overstress yourself. I did that in my first year. Finals came around and I'm panicking, working all around the clock. And I didn't do so well because I would stress myself out. I wouldn't get enough sleep. I wasn't, whatever it may be. Instead of constantly cramming, space it out, be able to work a certain amount of time. Instead, don't overstress yourself and just be confident in the exam, and you should be fine.
I think confidence and spacing yourself out is really important. I like, if you mentioned cramming. I do this kind of in a way because I usually just cram right before, but it's not always good. Either go study a little bit and then cram right before, or cram a week out and then study a little bit too, then to just kind of reinforce what you're doing. But yeah, it's important. Just don't overwhelm yourself. That's where it is. They're the same style as the rest of your exams and the classes. And you've already learned the stuff. So just don't overwhelm yourself too much, and you'll be all right.
Alrighty, some good advice there for sure. We're coming to a close this morning, and obviously you all are here every Monday from 12 to 1, correct?
Yeah, that's right. And
once you all do that, you do publish these out on your social media pages, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We do have a YouTube channel.
Okay.
It's youtube.com/Hot Takes With Holmes. That, or you just follow, again, look at our Facebook page. All of our broadcasts are uploaded to YouTube, and we post them on social media, and also our Twitter page. Okay. Whenever we actually have those uploaded on YouTube. All right.
Now, I know you're working on from Monday. Is there any sneak peeks maybe you want to give the viewers listening what you're going to be discussing on Monday?
Typically on Monday we talk about the upcoming week in the NFL.
Okay.
We'll talk about the predictions game by game. It's one of our favorite things to do.
Okay.
Depending on how long Isaiah can stay with me, he does have a class after that. Okay. But depending on how long he can stay with me, he may be doing the college football playoff predictions with me. If not, it'll be just me doing that. We'll talk about NBA basketball, and that should be all that we cover on Monday.
Alrighty, sounds like an exciting show coming up, and we just had a big football game last night, so that's coming up for you on Monday and a lot coming up this weekend for sure. We appreciate you both coming in this morning. It was a pleasure having you on here, and you can catch these two gentlemen every Monday from 12 to 1, and Isaiah Addair and Blake Holmes. Holmes on Hot Takes with Holmes. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow them on their social media sites as well. So, folks, get the rain gear ready with you. We're going to be seeing record temperatures expected by the weekend, and then maybe a possible snowstorm or so maybe towards the end of next weekend. Unfortunately, that would interfere with the final exams, but we'll just take it one day at a time here as you're listening to us on Radio Free Radford. I'm Dustin Staples. Make it a great weekend.